My name is Stephen Bohanon. This is Jeff Chin. We're with Alkami Technology, makers of the ultimate digital banking solution. Today we're going to talk to you about quick apps. So for those of you who don't know about Alkami, we've been around for about 6 years. We have just over 50 clients with over 2 million online and mobile banking users. True to our namesake, we try to focus on turning lead into gold. And so one of the things that recently caught our eye was the account opening and lending process, which we've seen some similar things up here today. We looked at the online loan application process. It's kind of clunky, a lot of single sign-ons, pop-ups, frames. By the time the user gets to the actual form, when they actually do want to apply for a loan with you or take out a new product or service, the data that is there is either missing, or the data that's there is old or stale or incorrect. Because it's populated from when they applied for a loan 3 years ago or whatever. So it does create kind of this high friction environment, very frustrating, especially since you're their financial institution and you should know all this information. They've given it to you through all these other channels before. So we looked at that and we said, isn't there a better way? Can't we take what we already have? We have an online and mobile banking platform. We have an intelligent content delivery system and marketing engine that sits on top of that. We have an external account aggregation that feeds that as well. Can we take all of that and then maybe add to that Touch ID and push notifications and geofencing and really kind of supercharge that, and then add an integration to the backend loan application system through an API that would kind of bring this whole vision of a singular digital platform or an omni-channel platform, whatever you want, bring it all together. So what I'm going to show you today really can only be done if you buy into the concept of a singular platform. Otherwise, you've got lots of these kind of different solutions that are kind of one-offs that don't really all pull everything together. And so those of you especially that are familiar with the backroom and core and everything else, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So what we're going to do in this particular scenario, this example, Jeff here is our marketing representative for a financial institution. He's really got it out for Citibank. I apologize for anyone that's from Citibank here. And so he's decided he's going to go into the marketing engine. He's going to actually take and find people that are either paying a bill to Citibank for their credit card, or that have aggregated a Citi card into the system. And so he's created a target list. And then just to make this particular demo relevant to this particular group, he's also said, but only send it to the people who have been in the Venetian within the last 6 hours. So we're also going to use the geofencing aspect of this to target this particular group. So within this scenario, Jeff, if you would go ahead and show the phone now, and we'll show you what the user experience looks like. Okay, so just got my push notification. Mike, leave the city. Transfer your balance to Store Financial. We'll give you 0% interest for 6 months. So as Mike, I'm going to say, okay, I want to open that particular offer. What's happening is it's basically just opening your mobile banking app in the background. There is a very customized message, a marketing message to the user there. You can read a little bit more information about it. It says, I'm interested, apply now. So what will happen is that Mike is then prompted to log in. Obviously using Touch ID or PIN login, that's really important as well, because you don't want Mike to have to then go through and enter a strong password or something that leads to that high friction that we heard earlier. And then it takes me directly into the Quick Apps module within the system, directly into the credit card application. I wasn't touching anything there. And then pre-fills the information with Mike's up-to-date information. Keep in mind, during that login process, we were real-time syncing with the core, with the CRM system. And so not all of this data is the data that we currently have on him, on this particular user. Mike looks at that, verifies his information, says next, easily go through, and our goal was to say, can you apply for a product within 30 seconds with your thumb? And that was really the key indicator here, or the key bar that we wanted to reach. Go down here, and then fill out look at the disclosure and finish that. So what's really happening there, we're taking all the data that we already integrate from multiple systems, combining the marketing, combining those things, reaching out to the user, asking them to come into the system. In that particular case, we actually took them to a product page first, and then ultimately when they said they wanted to apply, we took them directly in and did that. Again, this is all inside the mobile banking app. So now, Jeff, let's do another example where, actually, I'm going to go back to my home screen here, and then let's just do another example of a push where maybe I'm geofenced on a car lot, maybe someone I do indirect lending with or something, a user gets close to that particular location. Hey, Mark, are you in the market for a car? Touch here to get pre-approved. Mike says, I accept that. And in this particular case, instead of stopping on a splash page that describes the product, the notification itself was enough information. So Mike says, I want that. It just takes them directly into the vehicle loan application. This one, at this particular point, now you're just dealing with interactive forms. These are very, very customizable, not not all that extremely difficult to do. It just takes good design. But Mike can go through here, apply for this particular loan, enter his VIN number, upload a picture of the VIN, even get a kind of an estimated payment for what that would cost based on the car he's interested in. So that's another way that we can use the push notifications there. Now, you don't have to use that at all. Keep in mind that the way that the system works, if that, let's say that the user had turned the notifications off, the next time they open up the mobile banking app, it's going to automatically check to see if there's any new content that is targeted to that user, and it will actually show that to them as the splash page. Also, if Mike says, I haven't gotten any sort of offers, I just want to go in and apply for something, he can just go in, use the menu, choose Quick Apps. It's going to pull up, he can look at his application history, or he can actually choose a new application. And again, he's taken to all of the available Quick Apps that are in there. You notice it's for things like vehicle loans, credit cards, personal loans. I mean, we're not asking him to apply for a mortgage here, not that we couldn't try to integrate that, but that might be biting off a little more than you want to chew for that. This is the way the user would go in directly. So if you would, Jeff, now, pull back over the desktop side of things. Mobile's important, but from what we've seen, still 60% of logins still come from desktop or tablet experience, and then 40% about come from smartphones. And so it's important that regardless of where Mike decides he wants to interact with the institution, that you have this available. So in this case, Mike's logged in. He's being targeted with the same content that he is targeted on a smartphone. He goes and sees his Leave the City ad, clicks it, is taken again to a page describing the product. He says, I want to click here to accept, grabs it, goes directly into the particular application. He can do the same thing with the vehicle. If you'll go back to the dashboard, Jeff, just starting there. Yeah, I'm just looking at the time here. And then just go to your tray and go to Quick Apps. And then just go to your tray. Go to your tray and go to Quick Apps. That's all right, we're gonna run out of time. They're gonna put the music on for us. Yeah, so he just goes to Quick Apps here and can go directly into that as well. So what we've really tried to do, obviously, is take the promises of an omni-channel, singular platform, show you how end-to-end you can leverage marketing, aggregation, core integration, loan application integration, to create a great